When we hear the word advocacy and picture paperwork, meetings, and fighting the school system. But real advocacy, it starts way before that. It starts at your dinner table, in how you respond when your kid says, "I'm tired," in how you listen when they say, "I don't know why I feel this way." That's the kind of advocacy that changes lives. And yes, we're doing it with a side of nerdy zennial energy, glitter pens, and probably a sticker chart that never got used. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Nostalgic Neurodivergent. I'm Corey, and today we're busting the myth that advocacy only happens in formal spaces. You don't need a school meeting or a diagnosis to start being your child's best advocate. In fact, the most powerful advocacy begins at home, when no one's watching but your child. So grab your Lisa Frank notebook, mentally at least, and let's talk about what advocacy really looks like. In this episode, we're going to redefine what advocacy really means, why your tone, response, and presence are advocacy already, how to build everyday advocacy into your home culture, and ways to empower your daughter to self-advocate even without a diagnosis. So advocacy isn't a fight. It's a framework. It's not always about pushing back against broken systems, although, yeah, sometimes that is very necessary. It's about building, understanding, support, and permission every single day. You don't need to know the IDEA law to be an advocate. You need to know your kid, what calms them, what stresses them, and what helps them feel seen. Because every time you narrate their strengths out loud, that is also advocacy. Every time you help them name a need without shame, that is advocacy. It's like passing notes to your past self in class. Only now, you're giving your child the affirmations that you never got. So let's talk about your tone, because neurodivergent kiddos pick up on more than words. They pick up on the energy. So when your child says, "I'm overwhelmed," and your response is, "You're fine," they learned that being overwhelmed is invalid. But if you say, "I hear that. Do you need quiet or connection right now?" You've just modeled advocacy and built safety. So try this 3-step response cycle. Step 1, validate their feelings. Step 2, offer 2 supportive options. And step 3, follow through without judgment. Kind of like those choose your own adventure books. We're giving them options that will lead to connection. Now here's where this magic happens. When you advocate with your child, you are teaching them to advocate for themselves. At home, this can look like practicing scripts. "Can I have a quiet break?" or "That doesn't feel good to me." Naming body cues together, like "What does your overwhelm feel like?" And celebrating when they speak up, even if it's clumsy or incomplete. This isn't just parenting. It's training a future self-aware adult who knows that they matter. And yes, it's like teaching them how to pause a Tamagotchi meltdown before it spirals. And here's another thing, my friend. You don't need a piece of paper to justify your child's needs. If your daughter is struggling with transitions, sound, or social fatigue, you can build scaffolding now. You can request support from teachers, adapt your routines at home, and create accommodations at home that reflect who she actually is. And advocacy is not about fixing her. It's about supporting her in a world that wasn't built with her in mind. Download the Advocacy Action Plan Checklist, perfect for building confidence in conversations at school, home, and beyond. So you might feel like you're making excuses or babying your kid if you push for support without a diagnosis. But that, my friend, is your internalized ableism talking. You don't need to justify your kid's comfort, and you don't need to earn accommodations through suffering. Advocacy isn't about proving need. It's about honoring truth. So let's unlearn the idea that support must be earned like arcade tickets. Your child's needs don't have to be cashed in for permission. You, my friend, are already an advocate. Every time you say, "Tell me more," instead of "That's not a big deal," you're changing the script. And that script, it becomes their confident and empowered inner voice. If this episode affirmed you, send it to another mom who's showing up messy but mighty, and grab the free advocacy checklist in the show notes. It'll give you some tools to keep advocating with clarity, confidence, and heart. So think of advocacy at home like writing your own guidebook, kind of like those cheat code magazines we used to get for video games. You're not cheating the system. You're just playing it with strategy and making it safer for the next player.